come all. With these items, you could be the strongest man in the world. Oh, how about you, little lady? Come on over.
What are you selling?
Oh, I've got this Viking press attachment.
This seems very gimmicky, Flim Flam Man.
What about booty bands?
Hey guys, welcome back. Gluck here. Today we're going to cover 4 items that I own in my home gym that I wouldn't buy again. And it's not necessarily that they're bad items. It's more that they either take up too much space to justify the amount of times I use them, or that they're so pricey, it's hard to argue I couldn't have found a better alternative somewhere else, which we will cover as well. Now, if you're trying to play the guessing game at home and you're thinking, maybe it's those dumbbells he never finished. Or is it the excessive amount of barbells he owns? I know it's not the rings. He never shuts up about those. Man, this guy hawks a lot of products. It could be anything. But you better not have said my curl bar. Everybody needs one of those. Now let's get into it with number 1. My Rogue urethane bumpers. It's not that they're bad. They're actually great. It's just very hard to justify the price for a home gym. At just over $550 shipped for a pair of 45s and 25s, that's almost $4 a pound. It's a little excessive. They have a 1% weight tolerance. There's close to no bounce. There's a hard chrome insert, and urethane is an amazing material that's going to outlast me. But they're not actually made in the United States by Rogue, so they're incredibly difficult to justify, and there are alternatives. If I wanted to look at cheaper bumpers, the first company I would go to is Fringe Sport. Their black bumpers, the contrast, the color sets, the Savages, and every single set and style of bumper that Fringe makes has a steel hook insert in that hub. Now that doesn't matter for this beefy bitch right here. This hub isn't going anywhere, but in less expensive styles of bumpers, I've had that hub pop out. And even Fringe's black competition training plates would save you $80 for the same set of 45s and 25s. With the same bounce and 1% tolerance and a 5-year warranty, they're definitely worth a look. Now, Rep also makes some pretty good color bumpers. I had them in the past. I did another really bad unboxing video of them that I'm not gonna link right now, but they're really nice color bumpers. It's just when COVID hit, I sold them to get this because, well, I could. But if I did it again, those were really nice bumpers and I would keep them. And if you're saying these and those color bumpers aren't the same quality, you're right, but you could go to their competition color set, which would still save you about $65, and they have a tighter tolerance within 10 grams and a 5-year warranty. And if you're stuck on urethane, because urethane does have some qualities that rubber's not gonna match, you can look at Titan Fitness's urethane bumpers. They'll save you about $65 from what's probably coming from the same factory, but don't hold me to it. So let's get to number 2, which is pretty much the quality of what this next one is. My Titan Sandwich J-Cups. I'm not gonna say that they're terrible, they are. But we've covered this in a full video in the past, which I'll link right here. I'm just gonna warn you though, I do drop an F-bomb in it and it's not bleeped about 5 seconds in, so it goes pretty well. Now, I'll just give you the highlights because that video already exists. Number 1, the UHMW doesn't go all the way around, so it's not really protecting your barbell, kind of the entire point. There's supposed to be 3 UHMW contact points for your rack, so your rack never hits this metal. This is actually off their website, but there's not. There's only 2, so I had to UHMW tape this right here. Then I had to remove the UHMW to sand it down to get it to actually fit on my rack. The list goes on. The pin didn't fit in my first set. This is my second set. I actually ground the second pin down on my whole new second set to make it fit. It fits okay at best, but because of all the complications and problems with this thing, even when it's set up right, they don't sit right, so it doesn't work particularly well. And I know the list goes on, I just can't think of them all off the top of my head. It's not a remarkably good product. I do have other Titan products that are pretty good, like their dip bar, and oddly enough, their roller J-cups, but I 100% would not buy these again. So let's get to our next item. My Viking Landmine press attachment. We're not just gonna bash Titan this entire video. We'll get back on the Rogue train on the next item. It's just that it's a hard item for me to justify based on the amount of time I use it. And to be honest with you, it's a hassle to set up properly. If you want to get it to the right height so that it's more of an overhead movement rather than a lot of chest, the setup's a bit intricate. And you also probably need the pin and pipe pivot set that Titan sells, which I also own, and it's good quality. it's Titan. But it's kind of like my Titan dip attachment. I kind of stare at the welds as I do my weighted dips to see if they're gonna hold up. It's worked so far, but I do pray a little bit. Now, it's just something that I can't justify based on the efficiency and time in trying to set it up and how much I use it. It's also something I've covered in my worst home gym mistakes video, which I will link up top. Now let's move on to our final item, my Rogue pound change plates. And I know what you're thinking, why isn't he holding them? Well, I sold them, and it's actually one of my earliest YouTube videos. You don't need to watch it. These things are gorgeous, and they're within 10 grams of their stated weight, though one of mine was a little bit off. They're supposed to essentially sit on the barbell without a collar, especially if you're putting them outside of the collars. But I found that mine, I was just ripping that little rubber lining off them way too quickly for what they cost. They're not made in the United States, and I wasn't going to put them outside my collars anyway. Now, I love Rogue, and I'm good at spending money. A lot of it. But at over $5 a pound, I just couldn't justify it if I wasn't in love with them. So if you want to look at alternatives, I'll give you two. The first one that's probably going to pop in your mind if you're thinking about saving money would be Titan Fitness. And you're right, they will save you money, but they're not the same specs. And that's in weight tolerance and collar opening size. So if you like them a little tight, stick with Rogue. And if you don't mind, if it seems like they've been around a little while and you like them a little looser, you'll be okay with the Titans. Now from there, I'd look at Rep's change plates. They're rubber coated with an exposed steel insert, so it's not gonna wear away over time. They follow IWF color standards, and they'll save you about $35 for a full set. Now, the sets I've seen in the wild have all been within 1% of that stated weight. And I'm pretty sure, don't hold me to it, Coop has an article where he backs that up. I'll be honest, I really love those Rogue change plates. I just thought the price was a hard pill to swallow, especially with that rubber insert wearing away. They weren't giving me any holding power anyway. So for me personally, I couldn't justify it. That's why the Rep ones are my personal preference. They're a little bit cheaper. They have the same vibrant colors, but that steel insert goes with kind of the theme I have. If you're trying to work color into your gym, unlike the black on black that I seem to have going, I think that they're a great option. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I'll see you next week.
What are you selling?
Oh, I've got this Viking. We're gonna die out here.